Live, it says we are. Is that right? Yes, I guess. Okay. Thank you, Universal Order, for allowing me to listen. Alright, it's not a towel. This is an owl. Wise decisions have to be made. Alright, even if we're in the shade. Because when people say I'm gonna get out of the sun, get under the tree, get in some shade, birds still gonna shit on you. That's the beauty of life. Okay, so you get the full thing. There's work to be done. Alright, even when we're young. Speaking of listening, rush to judgment. That's what it's called in some areas. Let me say this in starting this. The young man said he would die for football. And the commissioner was right next to him. Is that a setup or what? Come on, man. Okay. So let's, in my opinion, it's too obvious. So we go on from there, and I'll leave that there. Yet, in a much more decisive thing, precise decisions are made. Again, it's not a towel, this is an owl. To bring forth some light, to try to light things up, make it more visible, and not my skin, the thing that is in. Some professionals don't care for that. So I propose to move forward with it. All right. I was listening to several people speak. It was an early morning. I still getting up at 4, 5 in the mornings, and turned the tail eye vision on to watch it, and I began to listen to Hall of Fame speeches, football Hall of Fame speeches, and take that to heart, because people have gone from one stage to the next, and football is a very dangerous game. It's a very high risk, high reward situation. It's a very dangerous game that you play. I mean, I wouldn't play even if I was in the greatest of shape. When I was growing up, even when I got to high school, gotta be honest on this one. The guys would, because I was always talking stuff. I'm fast. I'm this. I'm that. I'm junior high. Because I didn't play in junior high because the coach, I told that story, kicked me in the chest. Coach Ellis registered. Let me give his name out. The coach is at Central High School right now. I don't know if the coach is right now, but he did. And the young man I met one time at the Kroger grocery store again, his daddy is the owner of a big chain wheel bicycle shop. And I met him at that store that day. He was a kicker. Okay, at the time, just maybe 2 years ago, it was. And it was a young man from Central High School, just recruited pretty highly. I was wondering if that was his son or not. I'm not sure, but he just came out to be a good kicker. But I don't know if that's the young man, the same person. But when I read about the young man, I thought, well, that would be interesting if he was the one that I met at the store, because it was a very interesting situation. But yeah, him being a kicker and I was kicked, which got me out of the sport. But I was reticent, and I was charged up to go and play in high school. And all the bigger guys were like, oh yeah, come on, Oliver, because from the neighborhood, we played football and we tackled and all that. I was ready. But man, I said, no, y'all not gonna be racking, because I went out to watch the team play. I'm like, oh my God, these guys are hitting too freaking hard. And I was a tiny dude, weighed about 170, 160, I don't know if I even weighed 160. That was huge for me. I think I weighed really light, and I was, like thinking like, man, am I going to be able to run against these guys? So, And then as I go on, I see how huge the guys are today. And man, you have to be prepared to play football. I tell you, you have to be a real man. So I respect people who play football, although I'm against the head collisions per se and all of that football brings about, and the concussions and all of that. And there are deaths. And history of football is pretty dangerous, damaging. When it first started, it was like 18, 19 people dying the first couple of years. If y'all do the history on football. So these things happening today are minor compared to what they were starting now. With the cleats, all that, and all that kind of thing. So, but today football is a you have to be tough to play football. Let me just say that. So anybody that's playing football in professional, even college, to make the college team, you have to be really up there. So that was not a sport for me. Let me say, once I learned these guys were really ready for me. And I wasn't ready for that kind of aggressive, although I was aggressive in certain ways, but not that kind of aggressive. I was aggressive for other things, for the sport, for working out and being in shape for basketball, baseball, and track. That was my aggression. That was as far as I was going to go. I decided that. So, listening to Ladamian Tomlinson. There were other people there as well, but I want to focus on that issue. LA is his name, and always talk about charge it to the game, stay charged up, because that's the energy of the university. You have to use your own energy. So he played with the San Diego Chargers, you see. So he was charged up from his childhood. He told a story when he was 6 or 7 and all that, how he wanted to play football. He told his mom he was going to play football professional. At 7, he said he needs some weights and all. I mean, very interesting, powerful story. And he had after he played football, he had a show called Rush to Judgment, which is cool, which shows the progression and not just the aggression that he has, but it was an aggressive move for him to go from one level to the next and to continue to earn a living, and to earn even more respect for himself and for his family and the children that he has and his people around him. And so that is very meaningful to me. And even something more powerful that he brought up that, it struck me so well, that the slave name Tomlinson was given to him by his great-grandfather, I think, someone in that area. He was bought and sold by, you see? So Colin Kaepernick, by kneeling, and they try to keep him out of the game for doing that. Look at the difference in that. Come on, let's look at the difference in that. How powerful that is. And you're going to say because he kneeled down? And people were making these people back then kneel before them as subhumans in this country, being bought and sold. And because this brother trying to bring up the human experience, you're going to keep him away from the game? Are you kidding me? That's the mind. That's the mind, not the full capacity brain function that we actually have as human beings. The mind can play tricks on you. That's what they are. And Don Sterling played that game by saying all these negative things about black people from that historical reference. And so did Al Davis use that against Marcus Allen, another running back. You see, against him and not letting him play, not wanting him to shine, although he gave halftime speeches to help the team come back and win. You see? And they're gonna still play this political game right now. Because that's all they know. You have to accept they don't know any better. You have to accept that. These people don't know any better. So they're not going to do any better. So they're going to ride that out as much as they can to not allow the country to grow, the families of the people to grow, because that's who they are. We have to accept that and move on and play the game with them, play the football or whatever, and accept these people. That's who they are. And ask for millions of dollars when you do play. Let's shake that earthquake up. You see? That's what, and this is the country that we're in today. Okay, and so these things go on, and these people still say ugly things about black people, owners of teams, like what's the dude who played for the Cowboys? One of the Dez Bryant. Somebody asked him was his mama a prostitute or something. You see, these things continuously come about in today's society, and you're gonna say that this brother is being kept out of the game because he's gonna bring this kind of harassment to your team? Man, come on, man. Let's deal with this in a much higher level. So, yeah, LT, his great grandparents was bought and sold, so he went and bought the land. He owns the land now in San Diego. Beautiful weather. You see? What an exchange of energy, an exchange agreement that he went to his heart to do. Okay? And you know all those stories about moms going to work, 2 jobs and all of that, doing this and that for the children. You want a set of weights. His mom said, you know, and that Christmas he woke up and then he had the weights, and then he wanted to go to this camp. She said it was too much. Then suddenly she said, "Okay, we're gonna get you into that camp." He was in that camp. He was awestruck by the players that he met, Emmitt Smith, all those guys. And I did a story, Emmitt Smith, the number of people, soldiers dying, committing suicide. You see? I'm using all these things that these people speak of beautifully in a way that we can use and move our lives among the things that these ugly things that these people are going to say and bloom out as flowers, as storm travelers, all throughout these things. So in his speech, he brought this up in a Hall of Fame speech. And I love that. I'm glad he did that because it allows me to use stay charged up, charge it to the game. It's free to be able to say these things. It's free. Those people went through that. We didn't do that. Remember I talked about the precious that we live through today? See, his great-grandparents, that was not no precious. That was life and death pressure. His life was on. That was the ugliest thing you could do to a human being. Buy and sell another human being. You see? And people said modern day slavery, sports and all of that. That's not the case. But a number of prices put on your ability to play the game. And you can move your family from one aspect to another to be an owner of your own team, which is your family. You see? How beautiful is that? And I can even use the Uncle Tom's Cabin. Tom L. Son. That's I name. L.I. Son. Light being. See, Uncle Tom's Cabin. People used to call each other Uncle. You Uncle Tom, you shut out. That's a misnomer, unknown fact. Uncle Tom was the guy who came in and was telling everybody, we're going to do this, we're going to change it, we're going to get together, we're going to run this thing, we're going to take over the slave owners stuff, we're going to run these plantations ourselves. We're going to get charged up. You see? That's the history of that. And that's what we have to do today. And that's what he did. That's what he did for me by telling that story. I'd never heard that story before. Heard him tell that story. And he went off to college, TCU, Texas Christian University. Interesting. And he made himself available to the NFL. Okay? But he also said that when he told the coach, I think it was high school or somewhere, he was a running back. And the coach said, no, son, you're a fullback. That's what you're going to do because he had no running back. So he did that. Played fullback and outside linebacker. Hey, play outside linebacker. That's cool. Tough guy. Again, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy to play football, man. I would never play football.